Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
This is not a drill.
Repeat, this is not a drill.
Is that all you got?
Let's begin now.
What up? Oh, for sure.
Please welcome Head of Radeon Technologies Group, Raja Kaduri.
That was a small teaser for what you'll be hearing and seeing a lot about today. But before I start off, it is really cold here, right? I think we tried to make it really comfortable for all our guests from Canada. I see a lot of them here. But I see Anthony here. He came all the way from an Australian summer. How is this? He's doing good. He's actually kind of, he's enjoying the cold. It looks like in there. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Huge welcome to our second annual GDC Capsaicin event. It kind of became, once you do it twice, it becomes a tradition, right? Welcome to everyone here in audience live, and we also have a live stream going on. So everyone who tuned in, great welcome. Yeah, it's great to see some familiar faces and many new faces too here in the audience. We had a really good time at Capsaicin last year, and we wanted to do something kind of beyond what we did last year. But before that, what an incredible last 12 months it's been, both for AMD and the computing industry. I always believed that the game developer sentiment is a bellwether of things to come and things to happen in the computing industry. Last year, many of you who stayed for the after party at the Capsaicin event and said to us, hey, this is a very different AMD that we're seeing, right? Long before rest of the world and rest of the market kind of noticed what we're doing and encouraged us in our journey forward. Your encouragement definitely helped. As you can see from our progress the last 12 months, it has been really incredible. And I wanted to wholeheartedly thank all of you, both developers, press, enthusiasts who have tuned in for your support. Now, I just want to ask, you don't have to answer, but you could. Are you happy with what we have done in the past 12 months? Yeah? Well, so I'm asked very often this question, actually both outside and inside. Am I happy with the progress we've made? And I answer, kind of simply, I'm definitely proud of what our team has done and the hard work in the last 12 months, but we are less than halfway through our journey. We have a whole range of developers and gamers that we need to delight and we want to delight still. And we are just getting started. But as I was reflecting last night, I realized that my fondest memories from actually last year's Capsaicin were mostly from the after party. Some of you may ask, what after party? You might have forgotten. I didn't drink as much as some of you did, so I still remember a few things from that party. But what was memorable was the depth and quality of conversations that happened in that back room there after the sessions we had there. We had some amazing conversations, right? I mean, they were kind of, crazy depths. There were conversations like after midnight about CU utilization, conversations about saving microseconds in render passes. And a couple of developer groups were kind of, really arguing about latency, VR, and also consoles, game consoles, which one is better. Engaging, educational, energetic, entertaining, and all of that extremely well supported by the endorphin rush from strong doses of capsaicin and also good amount of streaming alcohol we had at the party. So for those of you who weren't here last year, let me just kind of recap the science behind the phenomena that happens at the Capsaicin. And this is I'm setting it up for the party at night today, right? Mild to moderate alcohol consumption releases endorphins. You know that, right? I mean, some of you are scientists. And capsaicin does it too. It just does it much more quickly. And in fact, Endorphins are designed to tell your body to put the fire out. So curry and beer is a develop. Is that true? Who wants to hear about Vega? So you'll hear a lot about Vega today and see a lot about Vega today as well. But let me make one thing clear right up front, okay? For you, I think we locked the door, so you can't get out anyway. But for those on the live stream, today is not a Vega product launch, okay? You'll definitely hear some new things about Vega today. And as I've mentioned before, right, when we did the Vega architecture launch, we built this architecture from ground up to disrupt 3 important markets for us: gaming, professional graphics, and machine intelligence. And beyond raw performance, Vega has many, many features for game developers and gamers. We are taking a very, very different approach to launching Vega than you have seen before with any kind of PC graphics, new graphics architectures. We are taking a very platform approach, much like our friends do with game consoles. So today, you'll get a good taste of work we are doing with the content developers to help unleash the Vega platform. So you'll see all the content we are lining up and all the work we are lining up. And if you stay till the end, okay, and particularly the fans online that are watching the live stream, I promise you, you will get a nice spicy taste of Vega, the product, as well. But you got to stay till the end. Now, let's look at the Vega architecture. Just a quick reminder, what have we disclosed so far, right? A new memory architecture called high bandwidth cache, designed to abolish data size constraints. Second, we said we have a new compute unit with improved IPC support and new data types that are double the 32-bit rate. A new programmable geometry pipeline that will unleash developer creativity in dealing with high-density polyscenes in games. And you'll see some examples of that throughout today. And an advanced pixel engine for very efficient rendering architecture. Now, you'll see a common theme today in everything you hear about Vega. The common theme is democratization of 4K Ultra and above content. You'll see and hear about how each feature of Vega will help bring 4K Ultra gaming and next-gen VR experience to the largest possible user group. It's just not enough for us to just solve this big problem, but how do we get it to the largest possible user group? Essentially, each one of the features you'll see is designed to make super high-quality rendering very affordable. Now, we've been working on several pieces of content that will take advantage of the Vega architecture. And this one is very much near and dear to me, and we have started this engagement almost 18 months ago. This is a piece of content we have collaborated with famous director from India, director S.S. Rajamouli, the producer Shobhu from Arca Media, and also John Griffith from Concept, who is an amazing, amazing real-time content developer. He's one of the pioneers of previs in Hollywood. And he runs a company called Concept, and using a very, very special real-time game engine. We had several reasons for these collaborations, but we have started this journey, like I said, nearly 2 years ago, and our goal with this experience is to ultimately generate a piece of content that will push the limits of our next-generation architecture. In fact, by the time we are done with the level of quality we want to achieve this with this, we will need 2 Vegas, right? Not just 1 Vega. That's the kind of content that we aimed for. So for this project, we want to do something that hasn't yet been attempted for in VR and in real time. We wanted a near lifelike characters in real time, like you have seen in some of the recent Hollywood movies. Not aliens, not beasts, humans, right? And we went through the process that Hollywood routinely uses to capture, and we knew this weren't real time. And so we collaborated both with the content creation company and the game engine company, and we went through lots of iterations. And it's still what you're going to see today is the first look. It is still a very much work in progress. We have several weeks remaining to get the final content. And we have captured this Indian actress, and there is an Indian actor as well in this thing, and some amazing amount of detail that you'll see in this stuff. So let's play the capture video. So the whole process that we went through created kind of multi-terabyte data sets and all that John and team had to optimize to load into a real-time engine. But what you're seeing is the world's first look of that Indian actress that we captured. Her name is Ritu, and her rendered on a GPU, her rendered on a Vega. This is the first look. And this is done real time. So the next two videos and demos, and we'll have Omar coming up on stage in a second to actually kind of show it running on a Ryzen plus Vega system. But first, let's play the video of the clip captured in real time on a Vega. We are about 20% done through this experience, and as you can see, this was just kind of one perspective. Capturing the VR experience is really, really hard. So just to kind of show you, and we wanted to do this for our live stream audience as well. I have Omar there. He's going to put on the VR headset, and we are actually going to show the output from what he's looking at. That is running on a Ryzen plus Vega machine right there, real time. And let's get what Omar is looking at. Just to show what the team has done in a very short amount of time. By the way, we built a version of this demo that can run on current hardware without the characters and all, and we launched it in September. And it has been making rounds in all corners of India. There are thousands and thousands, literally kind of, it has reached millions of people, and it's quite amazing, the reactions. I mean, you can find a lot of videos in online on this stuff. So, Omar. Yep. Yeah, so, when you look at it on the headset, which I highly encourage, after the show, you all should kind of, get in line with Omar and see this. It's quite incredible, the scale of the entire. This is a 200-acre set that they built physically in India. And they also recreated it digitally as well for visual effects and other reasons. So what Omar is looking at is the photorealistic, near photorealistic is what I like to call. We still have a long way to go to cross that uncanny valley, but we are close. Omar, take us to the middle of the courtyard and show us the scale of things you're looking at. And a little later in the presentation, you'll see how difficult it is to communicate what you're seeing in VR to audience that aren't wearing the headset, and some of the cool things that are coming to solve that problem. So as you can see, this whole experience now, which is several hundred gigabytes worth of source data that we have crunched and brought into a real-time engine, it's still work in progress. It is running on Ryzen and Vega, and this version showcases the full entire world of Bahubali. Like I said, it's a pretty cool picture, and it's coming up. The movie, the second part of the movie, is set to release next April, end of April. It's coming all over India and all over US as well. So with that, Omar, thank you for the demo. Let's go to the next demo of Vega. So the next feature I want to talk about, by the way, all of these features come together in the demo, is high bandwidth cache controller. We talked about this at the Vega Architecture Day. Let me try and explain in very, very simple terms what high bandwidth cache does to gamer and game developer. Simply put, it enables you to get 100% utilization of what you paid for in terms of the memory. What you pay for your fast graphics memory is a substantial portion of the GPU cost, by the way, that you pay. Without high bandwidth cache today, we see games that only really take advantage of it to 50%, sometimes even as low as 25% of the memory that you paid for. On a good day, by the way. We have seen some top titles where this utilization, like I said, is less than 25%. So what does this mean? If I'm a game developer building new game, I can suddenly look at using more than 2x, or in some case 4x the footprint of what I was planning before. If I'm a gamer, what it means is that I can get much better experience while paying less than half the dollars for my fast memory. Okay? So rather than just talk about this stuff, we have this feature working on Vega today in our drivers. So let me show you how this high bandwidth cache in action on Ryzen plus Vega machine. Can we switch to the demo? So this is running Deus Ex with showing basically if you turn off high bandwidth cache controller and high bandwidth cache controller on, the system on the right has high bandwidth cache controller on. You can see how smoothly it's running, and the system on the left, both are running Vega. We just turned off high bandwidth cache and run it in kind of traditional VRAM mode, and you can see up to 50% average FPS improvement, and actually more importantly, almost 2x min FPS. That's the more important kind of gameplay metric, right? Double the min FPS with the thing. And to simulate kind of the benefit of high bandwidth cache. Now this game was built to be running good on 4 gigabyte graphics memory. Okay, so to simulate kind of the benefit of high bandwidth cache, we actually turned it down to the memory size down to 2 gigabyte to show you the benefits. Like with 2 gigabyte, you're getting actually as good a performance as 4 gigabyte, if not better performance than 4 gigabyte. So that's high bandwidth cache in action running on Vega. And we have several game developers excited about leveraging this stuff. Okay, next. So the next feature we talked about Vega. This is the feature part of our new compute unit. It's called Rapid Pack Math. Put simply, this feature was possible because our NCU is so flexible and can handle multiple different data types. This technology was first introduced in its first form in game console leveraging GCN architecture. So there are actually many games that are already looking at this technology for the last year or so. In PC space, this so far has remained exclusive benefits for high-end compute GPUs for machine intelligence and such. With Vega, in keeping with the Vega philosophy I laid out in the beginning, we worked hard to bring this down to the gaming space to enable rich content at an affordable price for everybody, right? So this is kind of doubling of performance. So let's take a look at a very technology demo that uses the Rapid Pack Math. So here we have our TressFX hair demo leveraging the Rapid Pack Math. So what you're seeing on your right is with the shaders leveraging Rapid Pack Math. So they're running double the speed, all the instructions that can leverage the FP16 format. And what it does is that you can have almost double the number of hair strands for the same performance. Right? That's kind of, that's one way to look at it, right? Either you can cut your current content time down by half or increase the richness and double it. And that's kind of, what this Rapid Pack Math does for you. And, it's effectively, you get 2x the number of hairs for the same performance. And it enables you to kind of, the developers to do something more richer and more photoreal with this performance. I mean, I was joking about this. I'd like to call it, digital Rogaine for free when you buy a Vega in there. And there are many of us that need that. So the other thing I said, how do we make Vega accessible to millions of gamers on day one? That's our goal, right? Making it affordable is one thing, but we wanted to go really, really beyond that. We wanted to do something that we haven't done before on day one of a new architecture launch. So for that, we had to do two things. You may or may not know, AMD GPUs have been leaders in GPU graphics virtualization for a while. We are the only hardware architecture that has the full SRIOV capability. And our MX GPU feature allows smooth and consistent and reliable frame rates for multiple users. So Radeon Pro MX GPU is a leader today in multi-user performance benchmarks, if you go look at that. So to add to that, Vega has a special new feature. We call that Radeon Virtualized Encode. And we have a very, very fast encoder in Vega that can handle multiple high-resolution streams. That's good. But we have also virtualized it so that the quality of service that we had, guarantees we had for graphics, are available for the multimedia and streaming as well. So we wanted to make Vega accessible to millions. So it wasn't enough that we did have this technology features. We had to collaborate with a partner to bring Vega to millions on day one. So to do that, we have partnered with an amazing company called LiquidSky. So let me introduce Ian McLaughlin, the CEO, onto the stage. Ian, welcome on board.
Thanks.
Actually, so before we kind of start talking about what LiquidSky is and what they'll bring to the world with Vega, Ian will actually start playing the game straight.
It's the easiest demo ever. I just get to play games, right? That sounds great.
So Ian has a Surface.
Yep, this is a Surface tab.
It's a Surface book, I think, right?
Yep.
And he's actually playing Battlefield 1 on a Surface from streaming right from his cloud gaming server. So can we show what we are going on? So Ian, while you're playing, can you tell us a little bit about LiquidSky?
It's going to be a test. I got to try to survive. This is the scene where you have to survive as long as you can. But LiquidSky, what we do is essentially we take the entire Vega gaming experience, the entire experience of a high-performance gaming PC, and we stream it over the internet. So if you have something like a low-end tablet, or if you have a Mac device that can't run a game like Battlefield, which I purchased myself for this demo, or if you don't have the money to go out and buy one of these machines, you can just open our app on any device. Well, actually, right now it's Mac, it's PC, it's Android, and we have a Linux client as well. And as of the 14th, we're even going to be able to use this entire experience by just engaging with some advertisers. So we are officially the company who's bringing the world's first free gaming PC, as we like to say. So by engaging with some advertisers, you can literally access the power of Vega, and we're bringing that performance to our users very shortly. So this is something that we've worked pretty hard on recently. And
so why are you excited about, Ian, tell our users why you're excited about Vega, and what are we going to see when you have Vega installed in your data center?
Yeah, so it's hard to tell with this demo right now because we actually are on a 4K monitor and I'm streaming this at 1080p, but 4K alone is a huge deal to our users. And our users ask us, kind of every few months for something new. They asked us for more performance, and performance is something that's very crucial to our business. We need to give people enough performance to compete with something like a game console or something like an actual high-end PC. So, Vega is an obvious choice, right? They have all these new features, and once again, I don't want to make sure I don't say any features that haven't been announced yet. But the high-performance cache controller is something that we really need desperately right now. Our users, and we have signed up today about 1.4 million of those users, they experience occasional stuttering because we fit so many users on a single server. And by doing that, by fitting so many users on this single server, we're able to get the cost so low that we can actually deliver that experience for advertisements. So
Ian, how many users do you have right now?
Yeah, so it's 1.4, probably 1.5, hopefully a bit more after this demo, but a lot of
million users.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So
1.5 million users.
There's a lot of people
in there that we could bring Vega to on day one.
Yeah,
right?
so that's another good point as well. Vega, the limitations in the workstation, the server, but with LiquidSky, we plan on enabling just our app on mobile devices. This is an Xbox controller with a $2 clip on Amazon. And with that clip, I can open the LiquidSky app, I can open applications, any game will work that's made for PC. So things like Battlefield 1, any game essentially, and that'll be powered on the back end by Vega.
Ian, thank you. I'm sure a lot of our present audience have
great. Cover this up. Thanks, guys.
Lots of questions for you after that, and they would love to know about your service. Thank you, Ian. So before I move away from Vega, I'll come back to Vega at the end. Just to summarize, right? We introduced high bandwidth cache controller, and we are enabling some amazing content based on the high bandwidth controller. We are rendering VRAM to be a legacy. Usage of platform memory becomes much more efficient with high bandwidth cache controller. Secondly, the rapid pack math feature, it doubles the rate of compute. It's basically if you pay for 64 compute units, you get the performance of 128 for shaders that can leverage this feature. And thirdly, with virtualization, we make Vega available to you whenever, wherever. Vega comes to you from the cloud. Okay, so those are kind of your key takeaways on Vega. But the next section is not just Vega. This is for all Radeon GPUs and even CPUs. So we continue to work hard to deliver value to all of the purchases you made already, not just kind of Vega. As you know, Radeon software continues to deliver some amazing, amazing performance improvements long after first release of the cards. Some of our users call our technology fine wine. I kind of don't like that word because it's as if like you're storing it someplace and you're not using it. I want you to drink your wine every day and still get better. So I actually would just call it is our user promise. It's not fine wine, it is our user promise. So in this next section, you'll see improvements with software collaborations alone. And we see actually software improvements beating hardware improvements by huge margins. Even on old technology, we can deliver 20%, 30%, 50%, in some cases even 2x, if we put the right technology in the hands of the right developers. So this is why we invested in low-level APIs. and giving developers full access to the metal. You'll see some great examples of their success in this section. So a couple of weeks ago, I was so excited when I saw Sniper Elite 4 launched, and all the rave reviews it was getting, and some craziness. You all know about it. I don't have to say how kind of cool this title is. So I couldn't wait to try it, and I did. There are some kind of funny videos of me playing Sniper Elite 4 that will show up when the Ryzen Tech Day material goes out on March 2nd. But to talk about this, let me invite Chris Kingsley, co-founder and CTO of Rebellion, onto stage. Chris? Chris, welcome. The first topic I wanted to hit on is multi-GPU. So when we launched the Radeon RX 480, I said on stage how excited I was the possibilities of two 480s beating some enthusiast class GPUs. And I did say at that point that it does take software investments in there to make it happen. And we were putting that investments in DX12 and in Vulkan and all the new APIs. And when content takes advantage of multi-GPU, magic happens, right? So I want to ask Chris some questions on that, or let him comment on that. But first, let's have actually the side-by-side running, and then we start talking on the multi-GPU. Can we switch to Sniper Elite 4? Okay, so here we have single GPU on the left and multi-GPU on the right. And by the way, this is running 4K, full quality, ultra quality on the right, delivering well over 60 hertz. And in fact, if you look at a combination of Ryzen and dual 480, to get 4K ultra before Ryzen plus dual 480, you have to shell out $1,800 just for CPU and the GPU. So this is $1,000 in your pocket, with the work done in software, right? So, Chris, tell us about your multi-GPU experience and DX12.
Well, thanks, Raja. We took a conscious decision to get to the metal as much as we can when we do our games. I mean, it's in our DNA, really. We've been doing development for 24 years now. We've done a lot of consoles and other stuff like that, but it's great now to be able to actually get to the metal on PC. So we worked really, really hard. I won't say it's been the easiest job in the world, but we've managed to launch for Sniper Elite 4. We launched with full DirectX 12 support, with explicit support for multi-GPU that scales perfectly. That's 100%. And we were really, really pleased with that. We weren't sure we could get there, but we did. So we're really excited to be able to do that.
For some of the enthusiasts in the room, I mean, this is like, we've been in the multi-GPU path for a long, long time. Chris, the other aspect of our collaboration was, in this stage last year, we launched Radeon Pro Duo for developers to make development of multi-GPU easy. And you are one of the, the first developers to take advantage of it. So tell us a little bit about how Radeon Pro Duo helped.
Oh, well, it was great. It was just getting hold of the hardware, because, there's a lot of hype when new hardware comes out. Look, you can do all these things. But actually, this is probably, I would say, some of the first hardware that has genuinely lived up to the hype. We said, look, we're going to try and double the frame rate with the extra hardware, and we have done it. So we're really, really pleased about that. We've learned... we started, we were probably one of the first companies to do mantle support. And that was really useful for us, because we got to learn how to architect our engine. And we had to do quite a lot of re-architecture for DirectX 12. And that was really important for us. That was a very important learning lesson. And then actually looking towards the future, well, we're looking at Vulkan. That looks great too. I'm really excited about the opportunities that can hold.
So we can expect Sniper Elite 4 in other platforms too, huh?
I'm not promising anything just yet. The guys back home will probably shoot me if I say anything.
Chris, thank you, and huge
Roger,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations on a great title that you launched. It's awesome.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you.
Exactly a week ago, we launched this kind of there was this little news item called, Ryzen. a small CPU that we launched. But it's amazing to see the impact it's already having on the PC market. It's on the best sellers list on all popular retailers for the last week or so. And it also spurred a whole bunch of rest of PC ecosystem component buying as well. The most exciting thing for me personally with Ryzen is that 8 cores and 16 threads are available to a huge populations of gamers by the end of this year. And I call this kind of, 8 is the new 4 now for the PC market. Now, over the next several months, and maybe years, you'll see a profound impact of Ryzen as developers take advantage of 8 cores and 16 threads. But no one knows more about controlling these cores and threads than my next guest, Dan Baker. So, Dan? So Dan wanted to actually do a rap on multi-core, but we saved it.
It was almost ready, but we didn't quite have it.
We'll have it for the
later
party.
tonight.
If you guys be here, Dan is going to do a multi-core and low-level API rap. Okay, it's hilarious. So you have to be here.
It's got
like today.
8 verses, right?
8 verses in there. So Dan, tell us about Ryzen and 8-core, 16 threads. What are you doing with it?
Oh, okay. So we're proud to announce our latest development in a Nitrous 2.0. We have a new VR title called Not Enough Bullets.
Not enough bullets.
Yeah, well, that was accidentally named because we were playing it and we were cranking everything as high as we could go. And
we have a demo too, right?
Yeah, we have a demo.
Up. Yeah, so let's also have the demo running as Dan is talking.
And Tim goes up and says, "Wow, we're going to need more bullets." So the really cool thing about it is when we finished Ashes of the Singularity, we had the first DX12 engine, and we said, okay, well, we still had to support the old APIs, but what could we do if we dropped or did next generation only? Mm-hmm. And what would a new engine look like if you're only DX12 and you were VR? And what would it look like? And what we came up with was Nitrous 2.0. Now, this is actually a VR demo, so hopefully you guys will actually get to see VR. It's sort of hard to demo that. So in Nitrous 1.0, we could scale, when we were doing up to 8 cores, we could scale about 85% utilization.
By the way, I have never seen such a
we're up to 100% now.
Yeah, no, such a
well, I was going to come
game. I've seen it for kind of, professional applications and all.
Apparently we melted something.
You're pushing it too hard.
I know, really.
In there, right?
So in Nitrous 2.0, we were able to get complete utilization of all cores, which was, a huge improvement over the previous Nitrous 1.0. We re-architected the whole thing. We can use 16 threads, peg out the entire system, and that allows us to do so much more. And it's especially important in VR. You said 8 is the new 4, but also 90 is the new 60.
90, yes.
So we have to run even faster with all the VR, and it's very hard to get all that stuff done in just a few milliseconds.
Cool. So you also have some really other interesting graphics technologies too,
right?
For VR.
So next generation engine, we talked about. Okay, well we're DX12 native. We're not worrying about old stuff. What can we do? Before we were sort of hamstrung by the fact we had to go backwards. So we have this new technology where we are actually able to rasterize the entire frame at 90, and in the asynchronous compute, we shade at 30. We've decoupled the two. And this allows us to get upwards of, and we can share the data between the eyes. So it means that in theory, our shading can be 6x more efficient than it would ordinarily be. And async compute was working perfectly for this.
And this is all, like I said, right? The theme here is how can we get kind of all this, high quality experiences to a large number of people. Dan, thank you. I'm really looking forward to, this game. No more bullets.
Not enough bullets.
Not enough bullets.
No more bullets would be bad.
No more bullets.
That's when you lose.
No more bullets. In there. So we have a lot of content in terms of the deep technical developer talks. The rest of GDC, we have a session with developers this afternoon as well. I won't spend time on any of this stuff, just to kind of flip through what we have coming in there. If the clicker works. advanced shader programming on JSON by Timothy. And let me just click through because my friend, a very important person, is waiting in the back there. He wants to get on stage and show you some more cool stuff. So the next section is we are calling it Leaping Forward in VR. And to talk more about what we're doing in 2017 in VR and what the ecosystem is doing in 2017 VR, let me welcome my friend and colleague, Roy Taylor, to the stage. Roy, thank you.
Thank you. Hello, GDC. I'm so excited. In my session, we're going to show you 3 brand new world-exclusive pieces of content, and we're going to have a world-exclusive new channel. I'm just so thrilled to be here and to have this chance to share this with you. I just love this so much. You know, the best narrators, the best stories, whether they're in games or film or television, are those ones which take us out of our world and they take us to another place. They give us a chance to explore new worlds, sometimes learn new vocabularies. And this immersion is what makes them so special. So the thing that we love so much about our wonderful, wonderful games industry. And we know that virtual reality is particularly special because it takes that immersion and it makes it 1,000 times stronger. That's what's so fantastic about virtual reality and why we love it so much. But today, making really great narratives, making really, really great virtual reality content brings along some sometimes difficult compromises. We have an environment that I call the kind of rock, paper, scissors. We will get to a place one day, and I promise you we will deliver it. We will give you 120 frames a second. We'll give you the ability to have billions of entities and objects, and we're going to do it all at 16K resolution. But not just yet. Today, when you're creating the content, you're asked to make some compromises between how much graphics quality you have, how many objects you have in a scene, and the frame rate, of course, must never go below 90 frames a second. So we think about this a lot. And so what I'm going to start with today is to talk about some of the things that we're doing to make the choice between the red pill and the blue pill that much easier. And by the way, here's a fun thing. Who can remember which pill was which? Almost nobody I know can. The red pill was reality and the blue pill was the fantasy. The problem we have today, however, is when something happens to take away the immersion, to stop us feeling in the story that the director and the creator and the producers work so hard to do, when that happens, we've broken the spell. And at the moment we've broken the spell, it doesn't feel so special. This is the screen door effect. And I know that everyone here in this room and online will be familiar with the screen door effect. The screen door effect is the enemy. It's against us in terms of creating immersion. So we here at Radeon Technology Group and AMD, we're thinking a lot about how to make sure that the experience is always great so the storytellers can just focus on the story. So one of the things I'm pleased to announce today is we've worked very closely with Valve and with our friends at HTC, and we're going to introduce asynchronous reprojection. At GDC 2015, we introduced Liquid VR, and one of the key parts of Liquid VR was our lead in asynchronous technology. So asynchronous reprojection is going to ship in the next, very soon, next version of Radeon software and with Valve, and we're really, really pleased to bring in this to the world. But don't just take my word for it, to tell us a little bit more about that, I'd like to welcome on stage my friend, our friend, Dan O'Brien, the General Manager of HTC Vive. Dan? Hey, Dan. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, asynchronous reprojection.
Thanks for having us. And yeah, we're really excited about it. You guys have been at the forefront of a lot of the passion and innovation that's going on in VR very early on. And Roy and I met a couple of years ago, and the passion from the AMD team and everything has just come through every year, year over year, just bringing more and more innovation. The asynchronous reprojection solution, we're really excited about it because it does a couple of things for us. You know, on the Vive side, we've been so focused on making sure that immersion and performance and the best possible VR experience, which is what our goal was, is always protected and is always going to be there for the consumer. This solution really does give us that protection, and it really does ensure that the users are going to have that experience. It also opens up another set of goals that are there for 2017. In 2016, we kicked off, we did great. 2017, it's really about growing the base, growing the ecosystem, and async reprojection actually gives us that ability to go to a wider set of PCs and a wider set of consumers and actually start growing our base. So this is the kind of innovation that helps VR actually make that next step and make those growth projections.
That's great. And I also believe you have something else you want to mention today. Something of your own.
Yes, shameless plug. Thank you, guys, for having us. Some of you might have seen yesterday where we announced the tracker availability. But March 27th, we will be making the tracker available to developers from htcvive.com, and it'll be there for $99. And then, this really opens up more of that ecosystem to the developer base on the content side and on the peripheral and accessory side to come up with new ideas and new ways that they can interact with objects in VR. There'll be things from like CloudGate where you'll have actual full body tracking here at GDC. So for a lot of you, I hope you come and see it. And for a lot of you others, I really hope you come and see, get a tracker and actually get out there and start innovating, because we can't wait to see what other ideas come up with so that we can actually grow this base and keep VR on the projection that it's on.
Dan, thanks for coming on. You're such a great friend and a great partner. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
The next thing I want to share with you today is we were recently fortunate enough to be able to have a very special person join the team here at Radeon Technology Group. There's a gentleman called Frank Vitz. To many of you in the game community, you know Frank really well. He's somewhat of a celebrity. Frank's CV is fantastic. Frank worked on Battlefield as part of the DICE team. He worked on X-Men. He worked on Stargate. We're really so fortunate to have him. So I'd like to welcome on stage Frank Vitz. Please give him a very warm welcome to this event here, and give him a super warm welcome for joining the AMD team. Frank, come on up.
All right. Thanks, Roy.
All right. So you're going to be here, and you're going to talk about Unreal Engine.
That's
so
right.
I'm going to give you that.
Oh.
And you can do the next couple of slides and
All right.
talk about...
All right. Well, Roy did a good job of laying out the problem of immersion. First of all, I just want to say one thing about the new team I've got here. That's really exciting to be at AMD, the company whose technology has been powering immersion all along and making possible the stuff that I've been doing in my career to date. And when we're trying to make VR immersive experiences, the designers always face the boogeyman, that the challenges of frame rate and 90 frames per second, two eyes.
Scissors,
it's
right?
incredible, yeah.
Yep.
So you have to make trade-offs. So the problem is that even with the hardware we have today, sometimes you have to make some compromises. So the challenge is to make it possible for developers to make the most immersive content that they can. So what the guys at Epic have done is they have developed this new forward rendering path which makes it possible to create content that's optimized for VR. And my guys have worked with them to get the forward rendering working really well on AMD hardware. So what it is about forward rendering that makes it so good? The main thing is that overhead involved with the standard deferred rendering, we avoid that, and we get access to a new type of, MSAA anti-aliasing makes things look much better in VR because it avoids the screen door effect and gives you the added
much more
resolution.
beautiful VR
and
faster frame rates.
And the amazing thing is we get
Those guys at
improved
Epic are great,
performance. What's that?
Those guys at Epic, they're just great.
Yeah, that's right. And you get better performance, it looks better, and it runs faster. We're seeing an amazing uplift. So,
Are you going to show us that?
yes, I am. This is Robo Recall, produced by Epic, and we're proud to have helped them get it working really well on AMD hardware.
Say hello to the latest member of the RoboReady family. Presenting the TAL Series 9. Every bolt,
side by side.
every component has been
If you've
meticulously
had a chance to play the
designed.
demo, you'll know that it's
So
really
you can't really do this at home. We can't see you. But for the audience, how many people have tried Robo Recall? Can you put your hand up? All right. So for many people, this is brand new. So this is the game.
Easily replaceable parts.
And so we'll take a look at this game running live on our machines here in deferred rendering on one side and
Trouble-free service is
deferred forward
That's a little
rendering
bit
on
about the
other.
game itself. And so, Omar, can we now run the actual demo and show the deferred versus forward?
So, you know, on the left there, you can see the deferred renderer, and on the right, the forward. We're seeing about a 20 to 30% uplift in frame rate, and you can't see it here, of course, on the flat screen, but in VR, the sharpness is much more.
So 30% faster.
Yes, and it
30%
looks
faster.
better.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Running on Radeon, 30% faster.
You got it. And this is just the tip of the kinds of things we're going to be doing going forward. We're seeing all the cool stuff that's coming down the pipe.
I can't wait to see what you come up with next, Frank. We're so pleased to have you on the team. Thank you for coming on stage.
My
Thanks very
pleasure,
much.
sir.
Thank you. All right, thanks very much. Now, I promised you 3, not 1 or 2, but 3 worldwide exclusives. So to talk about what the first one of those, I'd like to ask to come on stage Tom Sonoki, the CEO and founder of Limitless. He's got, again, a wonderful resume of work that he's done in the past, and I'm really, really excited for him to come on stage. So Tom, you want to come on stage? Come and tell us, and please give him a good welcome. All right. Good. Tom, thanks for joining us. So you want to tell us about your work and about your enthusiasm for technology, and I think you've got some brand new things to share with the audience.
Yes, absolutely. It's great to be here on stage with you again, Roy. Limitless is a technology company defining the future of interactive characters in VR. Last year we were here on stage with our first director collaboration, Gary the Gull, with ex-Pixar writer director Mark Walsh. And this year we're excited to be talking about forward rendering and our next director collaboration.
That's wonderful. So, and you want to tell us a bit more about what you got?
So we moved to the forward render as fast as possible, moved our whole technology platform, and we used it for our second director collaboration project entitled Reaping Rewards, an interactive VR experience about emotional choices. We worked with AMD to bring subsurface scattering to the forward renderer, which is necessary for soft and appealing hair, skin, and cloth. Our director is Matthew Ward, Cinematic Director at Bungie, with a long history in film from the Star Wars through the Matrix. And we're also excited because we were able to use our creative environment to build this 10-minute interactive experience 15 times faster using a team of 5, tiny team of 5, by building directly in VR.
That's wonderful. So, do you want to show us? Should we show something?
Yeah, we'll show you a clip, and I also wanted to say that we're going to be releasing subsurface scattering in the forward renderer for free to all Unreal developers as part of a collaboration with AMD. Reaping Rewards is going to be releasing a 6-minute sneak peek in March with a full 10-minute experience arriving in April. And GDC attendees will get an exclusive opportunity to experience a 6-minute sneak peek here at the show with AMD. So let's roll some video and
All right,
give you a look.
Let's go on this slide, and then let's roll the video.
All that you know will be taken someday by the angel of death or the servants of change.
Before you go, I want to say a big public thank you for Tom being so generous in being willing to share his technology with the gaming community. I think that's just really wonderful. And on behalf of the community, I want to say thank you. So Tom, thanks so much.
Our pleasure.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, so that was the first world exclusive. The second world exclusive, I'd like to welcome on stage Hess Barber and Adam Forth from First Contact. They, again, also have a wonderful pedigree. They've worked on Call of Duty. They worked at Blizzard. They're a very talented team, and they have something very special to show you today. So, Hess and Adam, can you come join me on stage?
How you doing?
Thanks, Hess. What's up, bro? All right, guys. You want to talk a little bit about your work?
Sure.
And then we'll talk about what you want to unveil today.
Yeah, so last year we formed the company in around August, and then we worked hard for 3 months and put together ROM extraction, which was just a little splinter of the ROM universe, which is ever expanding. So we got that out to show everyone what we could do. We got lots of great feedback about the ARMs and the cool stuff that we had in there, and set the quality bar which we wanted to do. And then we had a lot of feedback saying people would just want more content. So we figured, all right, we'll work for another month and pump out some content. And then we have a great relationship with you guys where we're able to use Unreal 4.15 and the forward renderer, so we can really push the bar here and just crank out the excitement. So
yeah, and the combination of 4.15 and the forward rendering and all the amazing tech that we have with you guys allows us to, render the hundreds of millions of polygons needed to create these insanely immersive and beautiful VR landscapes and environments and experiences that we make at First Contact.
Now, just before we come on and we share with the audience your new content, there are some people, perhaps in the audience and certainly at home, who maybe have a little trepidation about going from an older version of Unreal Engine to the new forward renderer, and yet you did it, I think, very quickly.
Yeah, it was pretty. I don't want to say simple. Our team at First Contact is amazing. What's up, guys? Thank you. But we wanted to make sure that for this event, that we had content running on 4.15 using the forward renderer and taking advantage of all the awesome AMD stuff. And that brings us to...
So you did it?
Yeah, we did it.
You did it, and you got the performance increases?
Yeah.
We did it in about a week and pushed it through.
A week?
Yeah, we have an amazing team, as we said.
You do have an amazing
very,
team.
very experienced, many years, so...
Fantastic.
Yeah, we'd love to show it off. Super excited.
All right, well, I know people want to know about the follow-up, so do you want to talk a little bit about the follow-up? Are we going to run the video now?
Yeah, let's
All right.
have a look.
Okay.
Let's get to it, right?
Can we run the video? And then we should talk about what you've done.
Hold on. Our systems are compromised. I need time to figure out the interference. Defend yourself.
Contact.
Here's 50.
You want to tell everybody what's new?
Yeah, so you got to see there the new weapon, the EOS 15, which is a new bonus weapon that you can get while you're playing. Gives you a bit of the old arcade vibe of getting that superpower for like 10 seconds or so. We've ramped up the robots. We have new animations. We have them right in your face now, just taking swipes at you. We wanted to just crank up the excitement. And you can see it was multi-tiered. So you go down into the hull of the ship, and it's completely overrun. So.
Yeah, it's an awesome, huge content update for the game.
And everybody will be able to try it tonight at the party, right?
Well,
not only that,
we were so excited about our new deal that we have with you guys and relationship that we wanted to do a GDC sale and get everyone playing it and playing that new content and just introduce to the world of ROM. So we have a 75% off on Steam and Oculus Store today, running in the forward renderer.
Right now.
It's fast.
So if you're at home, you can get it right now.
You can get it right now for $4.99.
We just launched it 5 seconds ago.
That's great. Guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being a great partner.
Thanks.
All right, so that was the second. For our third world exclusive, we have another very special guest, Nathan Berber, the CEO of Servios, and so to come and tell you about what he has, something very, very special. Nathan, please come on, join us on stage.
How you doing, Roy?
Over to you, man.
Yeah, thank you. All right, Roy, thanks a lot. So if you don't know us, we're Servios. We're the creators of raw data for the HTC Vive and coming soon for the Oculus Touch. And at Servios, we like to break things. We actually break records. So raw data is the first VR-only title to hit #1 on the global sales charts on Steam. Thank you. Thank you. So we also like to break furniture. People who play raw data in their homes say it's great for breaking TVs, monitors, ceiling fans, and lamps, and they actually send us pictures of all the wonderful things that they've broken. But most importantly at Servios, we really like to break convention. Since day one, people have made rules as to what could be done or not done in VR, and it's really our mission to break these rules. We want to prove that anything is possible inside of virtual reality. Conventional wisdom says that if you move too fast in VR, you'll get motion sick. And developers actually slow their gameplay down for VR games based on this principle. Well, really, we like to think differently. Instead of slowing things down, we actually want to go faster. And so, on that note, I'm very excited to reveal, for the very first time, our second title, Sprint Vector. Very much. So Sprint Vector is a multiplayer adrenaline platformer. It merges the physical thrill of athletic competition with the unhinged energy of a game show. And in Sprint Vector, you race head-to-head with other players across deadly interdimensional courses designed to both challenge you mentally and physically. So for Sprint Vector, we created a unique system that we call fluid locomotion. It's a arms-driven, head-influenced motion system that's intuitive, fun, and physically comfortable for most people to play. And most importantly, it causes no motion sickness. Fluid locomotion allows players in Sprint Vector to reach incredible speeds. Every action movement is natural and intuitive, and it subtly reads the player's intentions in real time. So we call this intended motion. It's an intelligent system that really just works. And it allows players to concentrate on the course and not the controls while they're playing. We're also very excited to be working with AMD on integrating Unreal Engine 4.15 with forward rendering to make sure that the game experience stays at a blistering 90 frames per second. Anyway, thank you everyone for listening. Please come check us out on the show floor. Check out Sprint Vector and our new fluid locomotion system. Thanks a lot, Roy.
Luke, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
You know, just before you go, I want to say, you know, I talked a lot about immersion. And I think that the fluid locomotion, which the Servios team have invented, is going to change how we move inside of VR. And so I really couldn't be more excited to be partnering with them. So, for my next guest, Carl Bennett, very well known in the gaming world as the editor-in-chief of Hard OCP, is here to tell us about something completely new again. This is our fourth world exclusive brand new announcement. And so with that, I'd like to announce ask to come on stage, Carl Bennett.
How you doing, Roy?
Welcome. So Carl, as I said, you're extremely well known for hard OCP, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today we're here to talk about something brand new.
Something brand new. Inside VR. So I've been in the hardware business for a long time, right? You know that. And one thing that really ignited my passion for it again last year was VR. It only took one time. And I knew it was something that we needed to look at, we needed to cover in a different way. So if we can roll VR, Inside VR trailer?
Yeah, let's run the trailer.
My name is Ben Vance, and I'm creator of Irrational Exuberance. I like the idea of VR giving you experiences that you just could not have in reality.
So the most important thing to do when you're fighting Slicer is that you have to maintain control of the engagement.
Here come the shots. Oh. I am dodging shots like crazy right now. They're coming from all directions.
That was intense. I'm sweating right now.
So that's a quick 40 seconds. And thank you. So what we really want to do with Inside VR is get back out and reach out to the developers and the community and everybody that's making up the whole ecosystem in VR and expose what's really going on and the passion that's being seen there. And I know there's people out there that are enthusiastic of it, as I am about it. And I think that's a story that needs to be told. So that's what we're looking to do with an episodic content TV series.
You know, this is unscripted, but share with the audience just how much time you have personally spent in VR.
I've
for some
spent,
of your testing.
Since last year, I've spent a lot of time with the goggles on. I guess my claim to fame is spending 15 hours in raw data and never getting off the first hard reset level.
That's a long time, yes. All right, so Inside VR is going to bring stories and updates and share information with the community.
We're going to get out to VR jams. We're talking to developers. We're also going to obviously cover the hardware. But we really wanted to show everything that's involved in the entire system, right? From start to finish. And we want to change. There's a lot of people out there that don't get the passion or don't realize what it's about yet. And that's what we want to expose.
Well, let me ask you about that passion. Because you know, the thing that we share is we're both so passionate. Why are you personally still so passionate about VR?
I'm a computer geek from a long time back, right? And for the last couple of years, I was talking to Stephen Bell, you're one of your dev relations leaders here. He's like, I could look in your eyes 2 years ago and I could see you didn't care anymore. And that may be a little bit strong to say I didn't care, but like I said, the first time I put the goggles on, I'm like, I knew this was going to change the world. There's no doubt about it. It's not just a game thing. This is going to change the world. But the game developers that are here in San Francisco this weekend are the people that are going to start this revolution. And that is just simply the truth, and you can take that to the bank.
Now, you've also been testing Ryzen. You want to share a little bit about your thoughts on Ryzen? I know that people at home and in the audience are going to be curious.
So I've never been critical of AMD CPUs. And, but okay, maybe once or twice. But so I've had a Ryzen system for the last couple of weeks, and I've had a lot of experience with it. And I will speak to say that Ryzen definitely has chops in VR and being able to accelerate an excellent VR experience. And one of the things we were surprised to find, let's see if I can say this right, was that there is actually a lot of engines already out there that are very well capable of taking advantage of 8 cores and 16 threads. So that's already there. That's already there moving through the system. And I believe Nitrous is one of the ones, well, obviously shown earlier. So it's kind of a big deal.
That's great, thank you. And so before I let you go off stage, I know that you're very widely respected in the community, and a lot of people listen to you. Do you have a prediction or two for us for VR?
I have to stay with the change the world kind of prediction, and that's so I can make that. Nobody can call BS on that later. That's pretty easy. I think 2017 is going to be the year that a lot of the doubt and a lot of the people that say it's a gimmick, the people that say that it's a fad. VR is not a gimmick. VR is not a fad. And 2017 is going to be the year that all that realization comes home for everybody that thought it was, because it is not going anywhere.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Carl, thank you so much. Thank you. So to wrap up, I'd like to say a very big thank you to our guests. You know, it's not often you get a chance to do 4 world exclusives and to announce new technology the way we have. And so from the bottom of my heart personally, and also for the team, we want to say thank you. Remember, the key to VR is immersion, and these technologies are going to help us get that. And with that, I'm going to invite my boss and my friend back on stage. Please give another warm welcome to Roger.
Thank you, Roy.
Thank you.
There are just 2 more things. There are 2 more things that are really, really big in there. So the first thing is we want to announce a really, really, really important and big deal that we are doing with one of the world's leading game companies. Like I said, this whole conference actually is about accelerating content. When hardware vendors and game developers enter into deep strategic relationships, this will ensure that tech gets adopted at an exponential rate. Right? We always collaborate, kind of, and organically the tech gets adopted, but it may take 2 years, it may take 3 years. But when we engage in deeper collaboration, we can get it done in months. I mean, you saw some examples of that. In 2017, we are undergoing some massive architecture transformations, not just AMD, the whole PC ecosystem. With Ryzen, we have 8 cores now that will become standard in many systems. With Vega, we displaced decade-old VRAM frame buffer architecture and enabled huge data sets. But Vega is more than just a new GPU. It's a new platform. So we today live in a world where the hardware advances are actually far superseding the software advances. So we are here today because we want to help you move forward faster. When AMD collaborated with Bethesda last summer, their team at id Software was able to inject Vulkan technology into Doom very, very fast. And when we saw the results of that, it was clear for us that we were onto something. You all enjoyed Doom 4 on Vulkan and the smooth, fluid frame rates it delivers, right? And Doom was the first AAA title to utilize Vulkan, and the gamers loved it, right? It was the highly optimized title. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really, really proud to announce a unique partnership we are announcing today with Bethesda to optimize their awesome library of titles for both Ryzen and Radeon using the best CPU and GPU tools available today. This is a true engineering collaboration between the companies, not just kind of marketing or branding stuff. We have dedicated engineers on both sides working on optimizations and leveraging multiple cores and all the new features in the Radeon GPUs. So to tell you more about this stuff, let me welcome Rafael Colantonio to stage from Bethesda. Rafael also happens to be the president of the Arcane Studios, part of Bethesda in there. And Rafael, huge thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Today, as I mentioned here, we are announcing a long-term strategic relationship with Bethesda. So, tell us a little bit about your excitement on the partnership. I'm super excited and pumped on this stuff.
Of course, yeah. So obviously, we're very happy about the deal between AMD and Bethesda. But for me and my studios at Arcane, it's all about making games. So better technology means that we can make better games that are more immersive, better storytelling. So that's really what matters to us, and for that we're happy. In fact, right now we have some people from AMD working with us to optimize our rendering on the new game that is about to be ready for shipping in May 5th this year. This game is called Prey.
Yes, I think people have heard about that. You know, this title. So tell us a little bit about Prey and what you're doing on Prey.
So Prey is, we're the makers of Dishonored, so it's the same kind of game. It's a first-person shooter RPG where you play the role of Morgan Yu. You are a key subject of an experiment that is meant to alter humanity forever. And of course, things go wrong. Instead, you wake up in a space station and it's invaded with aliens, and you have to survive and escape using anything you can find on board. So your wits, your newfound aliens' abilities, and some gadgets. So it's a survival game with a lot of player choice and a lot of simulation, the kind of games we really love to make.
So Prey, it looks beautiful. We have seen some initial results as well. And, we are really excited. Bethesda and all of its titles, they have a huge and, very, very impressive line of titles. And I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with our multi-core CPUs and Vega GPUs. Rafael, really, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And your support, and your team's support, and your engineer support on this stuff. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, when we gather here next year this time, you will remember this particular moment. It may seem like a small thing, but what we have lined up with Bethesda is huge, huge, huge. Now, you saw and heard some amazing technologies that are coming your way today, but I didn't want to leave the fans, particularly the ones who all tuned in, without giving something spicy and tasty about Vega. There is a lot of speculation about our next series of Radeon gaming GPUs. I get asked many times on social media and all, hey, when is 490 coming? When is 580, 590? They're inventing lots of brand names for us on what Vega is going to be called. We have a lot of interesting GPU updates lined up rest of the year, but we have thought a lot about Vega and what do we want to call it. It's an entry into market segments we haven't really been before. And we wanted Vega to stand for enthusiast gamer. And by the way, we were totally amazed by how much traction the word Vega gained, both with our customers and also with our fans. Okay? So with that, gentlemen, the spicy taste that I'm going to announce here, we are going to do the first release of what our Vega gaming GPU is going to be called. This is the brand reveal of the Vega gaming GPU. So I will stay quiet now and let the brand video play. So Vega, it's going to be called Vega. It's not a 590, it's not a 490. The gaming GPU is going to be called Radeon RX Vega. That's so cool. My team just showed me this animation yesterday. And you all get to take home, while you leave, the Vega T-shirts, that are out in the thing. And, with that, I want to close this morning session, and I want to invite you all back here for the evening session. That's the real capsaicin and cream, right? We have the best ice cream in town, and we have, actually, needless to say, the best spicy food in town as well, and drinks, and any questions you have, anything you have, my team are all available. And by the way, please do check out the demos. Some of them are quite amazing. Nathan's Sprint Vector is playing upstairs. It's addictive. You got to try it. And anyway, thank you for all being here. Thank you for all on the live stream, and we'll see you all soon again. Thank you.